welcome back to Friday Reads, where we help you find your next read. I'm Jill.
And I'm Julie, and once again, we're out on location. We're at Wildfire Coffee in Kimberly, which is across from the high school. So we did a few weeks ago, There's a Wife in the title, so equal opportunity. Today we're doing There's a Husband in the title. So turn it over to Jill for her first pick.
Okay, my first pick is The New Husband by DJ Palmer. What makes Simon Fitch so perfect? He knows all her favorite foods, music, and movies. Her son adores him. He was there when she needed him most. He anticipates her every need. He would never betray her like her first husband. The perfect husband. He checks all the boxes. The question is why? Nina Garrity learned the hard way that her missing husband, Glenn, has been leading a double life with another woman. But with Glenn gone, presumably drowned at fishing in his boat, she couldn't confront him about the affair or find closure to the life he blew apart. Now, a year and a half later, Nina has found her love again and hopes she can put her shattered world back together. Simon, a widower still grieving the death of his first wife, thinks he has found his dream girl in Nina, and his charm and affections help break through the hardened by betrayal. Nina's teenage son Connor embraces Simon as the father he wishes his dad could have been, while her friends see a different side of him, and they aren't afraid to use the word obsession. Nina works hard to bridge the divide that has come between her daughter and Simon. She wants so badly to believe her life is finally getting back on track, but soon she'll discover the greatest danger to herself and her children are the lies people tell themselves. New Husband by DJ Palmer.
My first pick is by a popular author, The Husband's Secret by Liane Moriarty, published in 2013. At the heart of this book is a letter that's not meant to be read. My darling Cecilia, if you're reading this, then I've died. Imagine that your husband wrote you a letter to be opened after his death. Imagine, too, that the letter contains his deepest, darkest secret, something with the potential to destroy not just the life you built together, but the lives of others as well. Imagine, then, that you stumble across that letter while your husband is still very much alive. Cecilia Fitzpatrick has achieved it all. She's an incredibly successful businesswoman, a pillar of her small community, and a devoted wife and mother. Her life is as orderly and spotless as her home. But that letter is about to change everything, and not just for her. Rachel and Tess barely know Cecilia or each other, but they too are about to feel the earth-shattering repercussions of her husband's secret. This author has written a gripping, thought-provoking novel about how well it is really possible to know our spouses and ultimately ourselves. So Liane Moriarty's The Husband's Secret.
The next one is The Husbands by Chandler Baker. Chandler Baker is a New York Times bestselling author of The Whisper Network, and this novel asks, what lengths will a woman go to for a little more help from her husband? Nora Spangler is a successful attorney, but when it comes to domestic life, she packs lunches, schedules doctor's appointments, knows where the extra paper towels are, and designs and orders holiday cards. Her husband works hard too, but why does it seem she's always working so much harder? When the Spanglers go house hunting in Dynasty Ranch, an exclusive suburban neighborhood, Nora meets a group of high-powered women, a high-tech CEO, a neurosurgeon, an award-winning therapist, a best-selling author with enviable supportive husbands. When she agrees to help with a resident's wrongful death case, she is pulled into the lives of the women there. She finds the air is different in Dynasty Beat. The women aren't hanging on by a thread. But as the case unravels, Nora uncovers a plot that may explain the secret to having it all, one that's worth killing for. Calling to mind Stepford Wives, Gender Swap, the husbands imagines a world where the burden of second shift is equally shared and what it may take to get there.
My second pick is The Husband Hour by Jamie Kramer, published in 2018. When a young widow's reclusive life in a charming beach town is interrupted by a surprise visitor, she's forced to reckon with the dark secrets about her family, her late husband, and the past she tried to leave behind. Lauren Edelman and her high school sweetheart Rory Kincaid are a golden couple. They marry just out of college as Rory, a star hockey player, earns a spot in the NHL. Their future couldn't look brighter when Rory shocks everyone, Lauren most of all, by enlisting in the U.S. Army. When Rory dies in combat, Lauren's devastated and under unbearable public scrutiny. Seeking peace and solitude, Lauren retreats to her family's old beach house on the Jersey Shore, but this summer she's forced to share the house with her overbearing mother and her competitive sister. Worse, a stranger making a documentary about Rory tracks her down and persuades her to give him just an hour of his time. 1 hour with filmmaker Matt turns into a summer of revelation, surprises, and upheaval. As the days grow shorter and her grief changes shape, Lauren begins to understand the past and welcomes a new future. So check out The Husband Hour.
My next pick is a thriller, and we might have had this author when we did Wives, because she has a book called Dear Wife. It's called My Darling Husband by Kimberly Bell. Everyone is about to know what her husband isn't telling her. Jade and Cam Lansky are by all accounts a happily married couple with 2 adorable kids, a spacious home, and a rapidly growing restaurant business. But their world is tipped upside down when Jade is confronted by a masked home invader. As Cam struggles to gather the ransom money, Jade starts to wonder if they're as financially secure as the lifestyle suggests, and what other secrets her husband is keeping from her. Cam may be a good father, a celebrity chef, and a darling husband, but there's another side he's kept hidden from Jade that has put their family in danger. Unbeknownst to Cam and Jade, the home invader has been watching them and is about to turn their family secrets into a public scandal. So, ooh.
My third pick is It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell, published in 2017. Kate, Aubrey, and Jenny. They first met at college as college roommates and soon became inseparable, even though they are as different as 3 women can be. 20 years later, one of them is standing at the edge of a bridge and someone else is urging her to jump. How did things come to this? As this novel cuts back and forth between their college years and their adult years, and you see the exact reasons why these women love and hate each other, but can feelings that strong lead to murder? That's the question. Or will everyone assume, as is often the case, that it's always the husband? So you have to read this one to see how this one turns out.
It's always. This one is The Dead Husband by Carter Wilson. This was a finalist for the 2022 Colorado Book Award, and it's also a thriller. 20 years ago, an unspeakable tragedy rocked Rose Yates' small, affluent hometown. The only Rose and her family know the truth about what happened. Haunted by guilt, Rose escaped into a new life. Now she seems to have it all: a marriage, a son, a career, and then her husband is found dead. As far as Detective Colin Pearson is concerned, Rose is guilty. Her marriage wasn't as happy as she led everyone to believe, and worse, she's connected to a 20-year-old cold case. She can play the part of a victim, but it won't let her family escape justice this time around. Grieving her husband and struggling to make ends meet, Rose returns home, hoping to finally confront domineering father and unstable sister. But memories of a horrific life echo through the house, and Rose soon learns she can't trust anyone, especially the people closest to her.
My fourth pick is another popular author. This is The Husband List by Janet Ivanovich and Doreen Kelly. This was published a few years ago. This is back from 2013. Based on the family from the best-selling Love in a Nutshell, this is the story of an heiress longing to marry for love or not at all. From the New York Times best-selling duo comes a story of a young woman's search for true love. Caroline Maxwell would like nothing more than to join her brother Eddie and his friend Jack Calhoun on their adventures. While Jack and Eddie are off seeing the world, buying up businesses, and building wildly successful careers, Caroline's stuck at home, frightening off the men her mother hopes will ask for her hand in marriage. When her mother sets her sights on the questionable Lord Bremerton as a possible suitor, Caroline struggles with her instincts and the true nature of her heart. She longs for adventure, passion, love, and most of all, Jack Calhoun, an unconventional Irish-American bachelor with new money and no title. A completely unacceptable suitor in the eyes of her mother. But Caroline's dark hair, brilliant eyes, and quick wit will have Jack understanding why it is people fall in love and get married. This is set in New York City in 1894. It's an American Gilded Age romantic mystery. It evokes memories of the lavish lifestyles and social expectations of the Vanderbilts, the Rockefellers, a time when new money from the Americas married old world social prestige and privilege. This is actually book number 2 in a series called the Calhoun Family Series. So if you're interested in this, The Husband List by Janet Ivanovich and Doreen Kelly.
My last pick is by Emily Belden. It's called The Husband Material. This is not a thriller. 29-year-old Charlotte Rosern has a secret. She's a widow. Ever since that fateful day that leveled her world, Charlotte has worked hard to move forward. Great job as a hot social media analytics company? Check. Roommate with no knowledge of her past? Check. Adorable dog? Check. All the while, she's faithfully data crunched her way through life, calculating the probability of risk so she can avoid it. Yet Charlotte's algorithms could never have predicted that her late husband's ashes would land on her doorstep 5 years later. Stunned but determined, Charlotte sets out to find the meaning of this sudden twist of fate, even if that includes facing her perfectly coiffed, perfectly difficult ex-mother-in-law and her husband's best friend, who seems to become a fixture at her side whether she likes it or not. But soon a shocking secret surfaces, forcing Charlotte to answer questions she never knew to ask and to consider the possibility of forgiveness. And when a chance at new love arises, she'll have to decide once and for all whether to follow the numbers or trust her heart. So, husband material.
And I am ending on a thriller with a very simple title, The Husband by Dean Koontz, published in 2006. It's the story of an ordinary man whose extraordinary commitment to his wife will take him on a harrowing journey of adventure, sacrifice, and redemption to the mystery of love itself, and to a showdown with the darkness that could destroy it forever. What would you do for love? Would you die? Would you kill? We Have Your Wife. You can get her back for $2 million cash. Landscaper Mitch Rafferty thinks it must be some kind of joke. He was in the middle of planting impatiens in the yard of one of his clients when his cell phone rang. Now he's standing in a normal suburban neighborhood on a bright summer day, having a phone conversation which is out of his darkest nightmares. Whoever is on the other end of the line is dead serious. He has Mitch's wife, and he's named the price for her safe return. The caller doesn't care that Mitch runs a small two-man landscaping operation and has no way of raising such a vast sum of money. He's confident that Mitch can find a way. If he loves his wife enough, Mitch does love her enough. He loves her more than life itself. He's got 72 hours to prove it. He has to find the $2 million by then, but he'll pay a lot more. He'll pay anything to get her back. So from its tense opening to its shattering climax, this book is a thriller that will hold you in its relentless grip for every twist, every shock, every revelation, until it lets you go unmistakably changed. This is a Dean Koontz book after all, and there's no other experience quite like it.
Well, thanks for watching, and we hope you found something to read here if you want to read about husbands.
Like, comment, share. We always like to hear from you. You can find our videos on our YouTube channel, which you can get a link from our Kimberly Public Library website. We're also on Facebook, so we always appreciate the likes that we get and the comments that we get. Thanks to Wildfire Coffee for letting us come out and film this morning. We hope you can hear. It's a busy little place this morning.
Pretty hopping place.
So. Until next time, thank you for watching.
Bye.